sell
anything.
me this fucking pen right here. You can sell anything, sell that. Go ahead.
Can you sell me this pen? Has been an interview question for lousy jobs for so long that it was in the movie Wolf of Wall Street. That's how long it's been around. Wolf of Wall Street is an old movie about the past. I don't like it. Obviously, I think it's stupid. I could tell you how to do it if you want. Just in case you ever find yourself in an interview for a job, be it like sales, marketing, fucking whatever. And at the end of the interview, this craggly old fella pulls out a pen and he goes, "Sell me this pen." What do you do? How do you do it? Do you know what I'm talking about at all? It doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Because your first instinct when being asked to sell a pen, you might examine the pen and use what you observe in order to sell the pen. For instance, you might go, "Oh, I notice it's got a pretty good ergonomic grip. Very important for your fancy hands to have an ergonomic grip. You don't want to get a cramp when you're signing all your important business papers." Oh, my word, sir. This is a very dignified shade of blue, not a girlish shade of blue. No, not at all. A man shade of blue. Why, you could paint your baby boy's nursery this shade of blue and he wouldn't turn out gay. Not at all. Oh, shit. Look at this. Fuck. Look at this clicky on this pen. Fuck. It's kind of good. Fuck on the clicky on the pen. They don't want to hear about the clicky on the pen. Shut up about the clicky on the pen. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear about the grip, the blue, the fuck. You know why, Jack? Because those are features. Filthy fucking features. What? Puh. You come into my neighborhood and you try to sell me a product by referencing features? You know what they call that in my neighborhood? They call that feature selling. And feature selling, you idiot, it's a problem. And I'm going to tell you why. Feature selling, it's bad because at the very beginning of time, all of the most ancient sales bro philosophers in all of the most ancient sales organizations all gathered on the highest mountain and declared, feature selling is dead. Feature selling was actually the first thing to ever die. Do you know that? It died before Adam and Eve. But okay, it's dead. What are we supposed to do now in its absence? What are we meant to use? Value selling. Value selling is where you talk about how this thing is going to add value to this guy's life without really talking about the thing, right? I'll give you an example. Rewind, you're in the interview, guy pulls out a pen. He's like, "Sell me this pen." You take it and you go, "All right, Grandpa, I'll sell you this fucking pen. I need you to close your eyes for me. I'm going to take you on a journey, old man. Close your eyes. You're in a room, big boardroom, big fancy table. Sitting across from that table is the fanciest billionaire man you've ever seen in your life. Out from your coat pocket comes a fancy piece of paper. What is it? Just what's written on it? Oh, a contract. Do you need him to sign that contract? Yes, you do, because if he does, you too will be a billionaire, so you slide it across the table. And to facilitate the signing of the contract, what else do you pull out of your pocket but a pen? You pull it out. What pen is it? Is it this pen? No, it's a worse pen. You hand it to the billionaire. He takes it. He goes, "Bleh. What did you just hand me just now? What the hell was that? Do you don't know who the fuck I am? Do you don't even know the world that I occupy? I occupy a world of big, fancy, shiny things, big, fancy, beautiful things. You hand me a tiny, bad thing? I wouldn't let a man who owns a pen like this make me sign a contract. I wouldn't let a man who owns a pen like this fuck my wife. And I hate my wife." So you see, old man, sales manager, this is not a pen, but a tool. A tool that allows you to cut deals and fuck wives. And right there, you got the job, buddy. You're welcome. That's what you say. You say that and you get the job. You get to work at the shrimp hut. I think the idea behind value sales is that when someone wants to buy a thing, they don't really want to buy a thing. What do they want? Well, we are all walking around with hope-shaped holes in our hearts. And that's what I want. When I buy something, I don't want the thing. What do I want? Fill my hope hole. Fill my hope hole, Ronald McDonald. And I think that thinking in this way about people makes some salesmen kind of weird. You've noticed that? How some sales guys, not all of you guys, but some of the sales guys that I've met, they don't treat people like people necessarily. They treat them like deflated cows, or and they need to fill these deflated livestock with glittery promises about the future until they get big and fat, and so that you may eat them. You know, Al Pacino, Glengarry Glen Ross. Hooah! I'm going to confess something about myself. Here's why I'm doing all of this. Because I think that this thing is ridiculous. I think this idea is ridiculous. And I think especially using a pen to illustrate this idea is especially ridiculous. Because here's the thing. I have been learning how to draw. And as a result, I have been buying a fuckload of pens over this last year. Fancy boy pens. Why? Because I'm an idiot, and I thought that I needed like the fanciest thing in order to learn this thing. And I didn't, but I did. And now I have too many of these Micron pens. Fancy boy pens with Posca markers, alcohol markers. When you buy shit like this, you go into an art supply store. And when a salesman in an art supply store approaches you and attempts to make a sale, the person, it's not like a bunch of Gordon geckos that work in an art supply store. You know? What are they? Nerds. When a salesman in an art supply store walks up to you, it's an angelic nerd from heaven who employs, what sales technique do they employ? Is it value sales? No. You ask them a question and they spew forth hours of details about features. I have no shit sat and talked to a nerd about pencil sharpeners for 20 minutes. Paper for more than that. Now, let's say I went to one of these stores and a salesman approaches me. They have a Naruto headband. They have a foxtail trailing from the back of their pants. And instead of their usual details about features, which is all I want to hear. All I want to hear are the features. I want to hear about how the ink is archival quality because it stands up to UV rays. Why do I want to know that? I don't know. I'm not making drawings out in the sun. You know, I don't think my art necessarily needs to stand the test of time. But it's good to know. I like to know it. I want to know that the nib is small yet mighty, so that it may withstand me crossing the fuck out of some hatches. You know? So, a salesman with cat ears and a Yu-Gi-Oh pyramid on the end of a chain walks up to me. And what I want are the features. And what if what they did instead was pivot to value selling? I can hardly even imagine it. They walk up and I'm like, hey, so what makes this pen better than this pen for this thing? Well, sir, I would like for you to close your eyes and imagine that you and this Micron pen are laying next to each other on a towel on the beach. And you love each other very much. You have been with each other for years and years, and it has inspired you to become the best version of yourself. You no longer wear cargo pants. You are able to talk to your mother without cursing. You and it have... so what is this? Is it a pen? No, sir. It is a portal that I am inviting you to step through, and it will lead you to your better self, to a universe where all of your sins are washed away by the light of pure potential, and you de-age so much, you're like a muscular little baby, and you have a blinking eyeball in the middle of your head. I would be so mad if, like, I'm not here to have my emotions played on. I am here to fuck. And am I good at sales? Am I saying all this because I'm like, I have some like grand philosophy of sales? No, I'm not good at sales. I've had a couple of sales jobs. And at one of my sales jobs, I wasn't even like a salesman. I was a sales development representative, which is lower than sales. Anyway, and I like was doing really bad for a long time. I was like shocked by how long they kept me. It's like a year, and on the day came where I was to be fired, and I was sitting there just thinking like, how did I get away with this for so long? I was so bad. I didn't even understand how bad I was, because like one of the director of sales was present during my firing, and he's reviewing my numbers, and he's like, Micah, these numbers are so bad. You've been here for a year. You have not generated the revenue necessary to pay for 1 month of your salary. And I was like, oh, holy shit. How did I get away? I got away with that? Maybe I am a good salesman. If I sold myself like that, maybe I do know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Just don't come at me, all you fucking Jordan Belforts in the comments talking about how I don't understand the fine art of what the fucking soft science, the dance, the fucking sweet chin music that you do all the time, real slimily to pathetic people to get them to buy a Jetta. Fucking asshole. Whatever, man. But yeah, the pen thing is so stupid.